Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stephanie and hey daily newbies, and welcome back you regular viewers. Today I'm going to be doing another foundation review. Today I'm going to be doing the review of the Tarte Shape Tape Hydration Foundation. So any of you regulars on my channel know how much I love trying out new foundations, trying them on my skin, see how they wear, what do they look like on, are they worth your money? Absolutely love trying new foundations. So I recently picked up this Tarte Shape Tape foundation, absolutely love the concealer, so I thought let's try the foundation, see how it looks on the skin. So if you want to see my review and first impressions of the Tarte Shape Tape Hydration Foundation on pale skin, then keep on watching and do subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and I'll get started. So first of all, to give you a little bit of background on this foundation, it was released quite recently from Tarte Cosmetics, and they did a matte version and a hydrating version, and I picked up the hydration one. Just looking on the Tarte website, it retails for £33 and it comes in 16 shades. It claims to be a hyperallergenic luminous finish gel foundation, and it's the superpowers as the Shape Tape concealer, and it also helps skin smoothing, oil-free hydration. It says it's buildable, long-wearing coverage, skin will feel smoothing and weightless. It's got collagen and hyaluronic acid, so helps bring hydration and plumping to the skin's refine pores without creasing, cracking or fading for up to 12 hours. So I went for shade Light Sand, and in the concealer I'm light neutral, and also I did buy this from QVC because here in the UK that's the only place where you can actually get Tarte Cosmetics, or if you know anywhere else in the UK that sells it, please do let me know. First of all, I'm going to go in with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, and I'm going to prime half of my face to see how it sits with primer, so that we can see does it sit better with a primer or without. So I'm going to prime this side of my face. And then I'm going to use two different techniques. So the matching sponge that I bought from QVC is this, and I have just dampened it. It's from Tarte. It's meant to be the one that goes with this foundation. And I also am going to try the Morphe foundation brush on this side so I can see which is better, because I do love my Morphe brush. So first of all, you get the lid, looks super like the concealer, and it's the big giant applicator style, a giant version of the concealer. So just putting this on my skin, and I would say when you're buying foundation online, it's always hard to color match. So what I do is I go onto Sephora website, I read the descriptions there if they sell it on Sephora, because they give really good detail of undertones and stuff like that, or go onto the brand's own website, because on QVC the descriptions weren't super great, or obviously you can just Google it and stuff like that. But this is shade Light Sand, and normally I wear NC20 or NC15 from MAC. I would say that I've had to go in a few times, which is, I don't know, the most convenient. You have to like keep going back in. It doesn't put on lots of products straight away. Color wise, this is looking quite yellowy, but also quite like kind of more neutral actually when I'm looking at it in the mirror. So that'll sort of be enough now, which is quite a few like times in to the product. And I'm going to go in with the damp beauty sponge that Tarte recommend. I've never actually used a Tarte sponge either, so first impressions on the foundation and also the sponge. The sponge is really soft actually, and it absorbed the water really nice when I was like running it under the water. It seems to be blending this foundation out quite well. I would say that this foundation, like just first impression of it on the skin, definitely isn't like super full coverage. I had to put quite a lot on there, and also doesn't look like super dewy either, for it being a sort of hydrating foundation, but that's not a bad thing because sometimes dewy can wear away very quickly. So that is quite light, I would say, at the moment. Nice if you just want a natural finish and not too heavy, but I'm going to put a little bit more on the sponge side before going in with the other side, because that is very, very light coverage. So I feel like I'm going to get through this foundation very quickly because coverage is quite limited there. So back in with that sponge to see if it builds up. Oh guys, also any of you regulars on my channel, I did my first ever brow tinting. So I actually have brows. Normally when I'm doing my foundation reviews, there's no brows because I have no brow product on, but today I have a bit of brow because of the brow tinting. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that for this stage, and then I'm gonna go in with no primer and just repeat on the other side, but this time we'll have no primer, and we will also go in with the Morphe foundation brush. I would say that I feel like I'm gonna run out of this foundation after about 3 goes, because you do need to go in a lot to get that coverage if you like a more fuller coverage. So just going in with my Morphe M439 brush, love this brush, and I'm gonna buff this into the skin and see if that gives any more coverage or how it wears. Okay, with the brush actually, normally I find foundations with this Morphe brush actually put on more coverage than with a sponge, but I don't feel like it's giving actually that much more coverage with the brush side. So I think I'm definitely gonna have to go in and do that second layer. So I'm gonna go back in with even more foundation now to try to build it up. Like I said, I don't think, if you're someone who likes a full coverage foundation, even at this stage I can tell that this is not a full coverage foundation, or if you're a girl or guy who likes good level coverage, I feel like this maybe isn't the best foundation for you. But if you're someone who likes like a natural, your skin but better look, then maybe it's a good one. But we will see once I have applied it all. I can have a closer look. But I think at this stage actually, just from even blending, preferring the side of the sponge, I do think it gives it a better finish. And normally I love my brush, so the sponge I do think is working better. So guys, that is the Tarte Shape Tape foundation with basically 2 layers, but quite generous layers. Just looking in my mirror, and definitely it's quite natural looking still. It looks still like my own skin. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing lots of foundation, but I have actually put a lot of foundation on. So I feel like I'm just basically putting a lot of product on, but I'm not getting like super lots of coverage. The finish is quite radiant, but not like super dewy. It looks like a little bit like hydrating to the skin, but not dewy and not super glowy. Also, it does kind of feel like it is sitting on top of my skin, but I feel like this is definitely going to need to be set down, because I feel even while I'm talking I can feel it slipping into my fine lines on both sides actually, where it's primed and unprimed in both methods. So I feel like I need to finish my concealer, do the rest of my makeup, set this and see how it's looking. At this stage it's looking okay. It's not looking super amazing, but it's looking okay. So I'll go and finish the rest of my makeup, set it all down, and then see how it looks then. So guys, this is the foundation with all my makeup on. So I've done powder, concealer, bronzer, blush, a little bit of eye and lip. So now seeing the foundation set down, it definitely looks better set down. Like it's not so greasy, not greasy, but I felt like it was slipping everywhere. Now it feels like it would maybe stay more in place, but I do feel like it is slipping into fine lines, and especially my smile lines. Like I feel like it's making those look much deeper than other foundations. And on my forehead, it's looking okay, but I feel like I can tell this is going to separate really quickly on my normal to combination skin, as I've got an oily T-zone and then normal everywhere else. Just looking in the mirror, I can already feel, I know it's going to separate, and it's only been on like half an hour. So the 12-hour wear, I feel like you'd have to have quite dry skin to get the 12-hour wear. There's no way I'd get 12-hour wear out of this. And I don't know, there's just something about it that I don't super love. I feel like it feels like a cheaper foundation than it is. Like I look at my skin and I don't feel like it looks super radiant and really glowing from within. I feel like it looks okay, it looks natural, but it's a little bit flat, and I had to definitely bring the dimension through bronzing, highlight and stuff like that, and through the concealer. But the actual foundation itself, I don't feel like I super love it. and I used my Laura Mercier powder, which is like my most expensive setting powder, to make sure that it was looking as good as possible. And even then I'm like, I don't super love it. I feel like it looks okay. So the people I think that maybe it'd be okay for are people with very dry skin, for people who don't have any wrinkles, and for a younger skin type. I feel people who don't want too much coverage, just a light, easy foundation, then I think it could be okay for that. For people like myself who maybe have some fine lines, for people who want a bit more full coverage, I feel like I wouldn't recommend this for that type of skin or that type of coverage. And also, I just don't know if it's worth £33. I feel like it feels more around a £15 mark for the quality of the product that's going on my face. Compared to my other high-end foundations, I feel like there's a lot better out there. I feel the Too Faced Sweet Peach foundation, similar price point, and I find it a lot better for my skin type. I feel like it stays put and it just doesn't make me look older. I feel like this isn't great for my skin, so yeah, I'm actually going to give this a 2.5 out of 5, which is probably one of my worst rating foundations that I've ever done review wise. Like, I feel like once I run out of this, I wouldn't go out and rebuy it. However, I would like to buy the matte version to see if that sits better on my skin, since I do have more oily normal combination skin, as this is the hydrating one. But I feel like, yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed with this, as I do love the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I wasn't like blown away with this product. I feel like, yeah, just looking on my skin, it doesn't look terrible, but it just doesn't look amazing. Like, I feel like my LA Girl, which was $9.99, looks just as good. I feel like my foundation from The Ordinary, the full coverage one, looks just as good, and it's like £6. So yeah, I just feel like you could get this look for a lot cheaper and not need to pay as much out. However, the sponge, I would give this, I feel like a 4.5 out of 5. I really, really like this sponge, so definitely recommend the sponge. Liked how that felt, and will definitely be using this with my other foundations, as I really, really like that. Primer side, I feel like the primer side does look a little bit less seeping into wrinkles, which is a plus. Brush wise, I think it was actually better with the sponge, again, like I said earlier. But yeah, I wasn't like super amazed by this foundation, guys. Do leave me a comment below if you've tried this foundation and what you thought of it, as I always love to hear from you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!